Hey, this will be a video chart on IDCC. Did this one last week, right around I think this day here, and like the chart has a very nice history of doing. It gaps up and then it just maintains its strength, doesn't pull back like so many other charts you'll see. We had this, it pulled back just a little bit here and then never really looked back, and even more recently now there's a gap up here and once more maintained itself and just went on to put in higher highs. Like the last time I did it, I'm going to stick with the 60-minute chart for the same reason. Like I explained in the last video, the daily chart, weekly chart, they all show that the stock's just in a massive upwards move. All the trends are bullish. But with these shorter time frames, you can look a little bit more in at narrowed areas. But with that being said, the disclaimer is, just because some of these support levels may fail, by no means does that imply that the daily chart and weekly charts are also falling apart, because we have to keep in mind we are just looking at shorter term time frames here. So updating things since the last time, just quickly want to make a little chart example here. A great example of resistances becoming supports, but you can see that here, it gapped up, put in a high, broke, made a big move, then came down here, and like you would want to see it, this resistance became a support level, and then things just headed right back up. So besides making a good educational example, it's kind of setting up for what I'm going to talk about right here, and hopefully the same thing will occur if there's any more pullback. So if we look right here at this high, so let me get this drawn out first, bring that down just a little bit. Actually, what I'll do is bring it up some, and then it'll be easier to see. But so if we look back here, once more, this was an area of resistance. Price came up here, resistance a bunch of times here, and then finally when it did get above it, you can see another big move happen right there. So this line is kind of now being equated to this one, where if there is some pullbacks, ideally you would like to see this level hold, just like it did over here. But once more, like I was talking about at the beginning of the video, if it doesn't, by no means does that mean you should go freak out, jump out any windows or anything like that, because we are just looking at the 60-minute chart. So I know I've repeated that a couple of times, but you got to keep things in mind. The overall context is we're only 60-minute, but if we're looking at the grand scheme of things, let's just show it real quick. So if we're looking at the grand scheme of things, the weekly chart, enough said right there. This is just, a NASA type thing, just absolute blast off. So remember, this is the overall picture, the overall context, whatever you want to call it. So back to the 60-minute. So this is the ideal level that we would like to see hold, like I said. The other reason being, we do have, the 50 period simple moving average right here. You can see it's basically lining right up with this level. So hopefully, if there is a pullback, history just repeats itself, where the price comes down, bounces off, and then makes new highs. In terms of resistance levels, kind of same as usually. Since the stock is basically in blue sky territory, you really only have previous highs. So I'll draw a little resistance trend line here. Going to leave the line skinny because after a healthy consolidation, I don't think it'll take too much to push up through it. But since it is technically a resistance, I will map it out there. So that is where the chart currently stands going into the weekend. If you do have any other questions on it, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook. And with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's a good variety of something for everybody. It is all free, no strings attached. We've been making some good money together on our alerts. So I'd encourage you to head to the website, sign up, and give it a try. One more time, this was IDCC. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your weekends.